Fortnite could be savage, making fun of collabs, YouTubers, and so much more. Here is 50 times they trolled us. When Peter Griffin arrived 3 years after constantly messing with us, they had to rub it in one last time. Pointing out how long we waited for this is just salt in the wound, Epic. From trolling themselves to pranking fans, we have the long-awaited return of a legendary character. As you probably know, we've been desperately trying to get Colombo back, and despite them already trolling us with his skeleton, they did us dirty for a second time. Sure, it'll be great to have him back until you realize it's only for the new LEGO season. Come on. But Epic also makes fun of their own collabs. With Deadpool coming back after 4 years, players can finally get their hands on him if they missed the Battle Pass version. Of course, this is Wade Wilson, so he's gonna break the fourth wall with his description saying, "I'm pretty sure I'm already in this game, where's Midas?" And if you've managed to unlock the Cybertruck, check out the decals to find them roasting a celebrity. Yep, here you'll find a broken window, a hilarious nod to the incident from 2019.
Oh my god.
It's not even the first time Epic's trolled Elon Musk. Back in 2018, he posted a joke article where he bought Fortnite and deleted it. The devs saw this and responded by making fun of SpaceX, claiming that a decade to reach Mars is silly when he could just build, lol. But sometimes it's not all nice. We were the butt of the joke when Bloodsport released in Chapter 2. His set came with a ton of sprays, including the reveal of Peacemaker. At the same time, John Cena was teasing this on Instagram, but little did we know this was all one elaborate troll. Behind the scenes, they had totally reworked this collab from a DC skin to the real deal, giving us John Cena from WWE instead. If you had to guess Fortnite's arch nemesis, it's probably Apple at this point. They've been fighting over the App Store forever. But during the lawsuit, Apple demanded $73 million in legal fees, only for the item shop to update the next day with "Bring it and make it rain." Yeah, Epic was not scared at all. And a big thank you to Star Wars Hunters for sponsoring this video. Season 2 has just launched, giving us brand new content for some of the best 4v4 combat in the galaxy. Battle on new maps like Vader's Castle, and level your arena pass to unlock Imperial-themed costumes, victory poses, and weapon wraps. Most importantly, Chaos is the brand new Imperial Hunter for the season, along with an Emperor costume at tier 80. You can choose from a range of different PvP game modes, all on battlefields inspired by iconic Star Wars locations. Season 2 of Star Wars Hunters is available on Nintendo Switch, Android, and iOS, so download and jump in the arena as your favorite hunter now. Thanks again to Star Wars Hunters for sponsoring this video. Be sure to download Season 2, available now. But it wouldn't be Fortnite if they didn't roast themselves sometimes. During a rough patch, they were getting a ton of comments calling it a dead game, and at some point, they just had to acknowledge it. So one day they surprised us all with a tweet, reads comments, designs outfit. It led them to drop Veronica, a starter pack with dead game written right on her shirt. I mean, hey, if you're getting roasted by fans, you might as well sell it back to them for a profit. Heading back to Peter Griffin, this man is a walking troll. When they added his boss battle, Epic went all out with this one, giving him an exclusive attack that's super toxic.
Oh my god!
The best part, boogie bombs weren't even in the game. At least we could experience that feature because some of them stay in trailers forever. For example, during Chapter 4, we were introduced to Doomslayer in the craziest way. They showed this in first person, causing thousands of players to think it was finally coming to the game. But we all know first person feels like the boy who cried wolf at this point. At least we got Cypher PK in the Icon series. This was a long time coming, especially with Fortnite's history of trolling. He's known for maining the Manic outfit, and eventually they got around to releasing a male version of the skin. But when they dropped it, some sneaky developers decided to put it right next to Chun-Li, Cypher's famous crush.
Like, you would think this is a Cypher PK item shop takeover.
If there's a mistake we've all fallen victim to, it's falling from a tree. They are so unpredictable, and most of the time, it doesn't end well. So in light of this, Fortnite decided to humble all of us with a toxic video. Sometimes Epic trolls us by accident, like when they announced the Invincible collab. This was leaked through shop tabs, confirming that it would be dropping when the store reset. So we sat watching the countdown, waiting for this insane crossover, only for it to refresh and nothing was there. The only new item included was a Rick Roll. Now, it might be a total coincidence, but one troll legally had to be added to Fortnite. When they dropped the LEGO mode, it was rated for 3-year-olds and up, forcing them to remove any offensive items from cosmetics. Except when you're asked to delete knives from a skin like 8-Ball, it's hard to come up with a replacement, unless you just give them a fork and spoon, that'll do it. They even threw in a smiley face to truly make this family friendly. One of my favorite trolls is when they give us useless advice. Back in January, they gave us a mind-blowing tip like finding an open door means someone else has already been there. Very helpful, Epic. It was about as random as the time we dropped onto the map and found a chest here. Probably the strangest place to put some loot, and when we called them out for it, they just replied saying it was a pain in the butt. At least we could laugh at that, unlike one troll which left players in agony. After begging for lightsaber pickaxes for years, Epic revealed a May the 4th event that could finally give us our wish. It was only for us to check the shop and find the Mando-mobile instead. Yeah, instead of something we actually wanted, we got a boost trail. And to make it even more ridiculous, you could spend real money on Darth Maul wheels. It feels like a parody. Sometimes Epic goes too far. They once had a quest in the files that was about to drop challenging us to touch grass. Okay, this would have been the ultimate roast, but some higher-ups forced this to be deleted before it could even release. The reason, turns out their policy is to avoid denigrating players or making them feel bad. Kinda awkward considering just how many trolls are in this video. Kinda like when we checked the newsfeed teasing us for a new OP outfit that was in the shop right now. Look very cool, who could ignore a guy with 4 arms and thousands of XP? Well, we all clicked the button opening the shop and rewarding us with... Okay, that one was obviously bait, unlike what Fortnite did on Twitter. They posted a video about a polar bear making a friend, except when you clicked on it, you could already guess where this is going. Now, hey, they can joke about their own mistakes too. At one point in Chapter 3, the game basically fell apart and everything broke. You can literally use tires to send the Foundation statue to space. This was so embarrassing for the devs, they were forced to laugh about it, updating the game a couple weeks later with tires all over the statue's island. And you might have been roasted by Fortnite without even knowing it. Back in Chapter 2, we had legacy achievements, and they would disrespect you in secret. Kinda like when you died to fall damage, it would say, "You let yourself down." Or my personal favorite, when you hit in a dumpster, you'd literally be called trash. I absolutely love their longest running troll though, putting chests in the most ridiculous places. As far back as Chapter 1, we were risking our lives just to get some loot, and it almost always resulted in being sent back to the lobby. Whether it was chests hidden in Greasy Grove's ice, underneath a 100,000 HP truck, or a treasure map that led to nowhere, this is one of the funniest jokes by the devs. Most of us are tired of the constant Midas teasers though. This guy appeared so much throughout the last few chapters in terms of hints and false alarms. When he finally came back, it felt like a huge weight was lifted off her shoulders, and yet just a week later, Midas said see ya later and sailed off into the sunset. It's gotta be one of the biggest trolls in Fortnite history. And so was waiting for a train last season. We were so excited for these to be improved after, how useless they were. And yet despite seeing leaks of a Mad Max style steam train for Wrecked, we logged in to find it totaled in the desert instead. Another example of Fortnite wasting our time was spending a whole season trying to save buildings from the rising chrome. There were weekly updates with POIs being attached to hot air balloons and everything, only for the live event, Talk about a bait and switch, like when Darth Vader was announced and we watched as he used the coolest mythic. Well, when the set finally dropped, we all got pranked. It wasn't a Force choke item, it was just an old emo. And speaking of Star Wars, sometimes they don't even give us a May the 4th celebration. Back in 2021, we were expecting a huge Star Wars themed item shop, stayed up late to see it refresh, and it was time for Wake Rider.
Why ain't no way, boy?
Why do we always fall for this stuff? It's like when we hopped on and saw the return of the Scar this chapter. Except, what's a striker AR? They cannot keep getting away with this. What about when they troll a single player? A fan was playing the game when everything broke. And Fortnite's response was to basically laugh at him, as you could visit this location a few weeks later and find a gravestone. Sometimes the trolling can get annoying, as Epic once tweeted the same image of Sergeant Winter every day for the whole Winterfest. People kept making fun of them, so a couple weeks later, they said they would post more for every 1,000 likes. And as you can see, they got 77,000, so there's a lot of spam. It didn't end there. Weeks later, they went on to continue the joke, giving us weird edits like 3 Sergeant Winters, an upside down version, before eventually making him their profile picture. Talk about running a joke into the ground. But let's not forget about the time they made fun of YouTubers. Once Ninja pleaded with Epic and said he would buy anything in the shop as long as it's new, even if it was a toilet plunger. Well, of course, it sounded way too funny to pass up on, and as Ninja logged in,
the plunger?
Or when he pleaded with them to bring him to the game, but they instead added Summit.
Are you serious?
It looks like a G on his chest, right?
And that's without mentioning Tim the Tap Man, who was notorious for dying to fall damage and wearing Tomato Head. So when the Resistance trailer dropped, they threw in a genius troll. Now earlier I mentioned the lightsaber pickaxes. Well, the wait has been even worse thanks to what we got in the past. Darth Vader, a metal detector, Anakin, a CCTV camera, I mean, come on. Not the only time they've totally trolled us with a collab. When you get a Transformer skin, you'd expect it to, I don't know, transform. That's only for them to come with basically no emotes that let you do that. And let's not forget about April Fools. In 2021, they gave us the most random skin ever, a recreation of the Stonks meme just in time for April 1st. Honestly, this was a legendary one. Back in the OG days, April Fools blew us away. At one point, we logged in only for Boogie Bombs to go crazy.
What the hell? Why am I? What?
And impulse grenades to send us straight back to the lobby. Sometimes you just can't trust Fortnite, like when Operation Skyfire showed half the map getting destroyed. Next day, we went in game and found that basically nothing had changed. It was just for dramatic effect. This seriously roasted Gref G though when his Icon series took over a year to release. Once it dropped, his description said, "And you thought he'd never get here." Well, unfortunately, the skin looked nothing like him, prompting Gref G to beg Epic to change it, and the funniest part, they said no. Basically, they told him to take the L, like the time data miners looked at the audio of the meteor and found this in the spectrogram. Of course, one of the most iconic trolls of all time is in Fortnite Mares, when players were just trying to find loot and ended up getting a heart attack instead.
It's like, Kuno, you can be
Are you okay? I still haven't found a gun yet.
okay. This is abuse.
That's fine.
Oh my god, bro!
My snipes are not. Oh my God!
Those are 50 times Fortnite trolled us. It's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.